Round 8 of the FIA Formula E Championship is in the second most populous city in Europe, ahead of what could be the second most important round of the FIA Formula E Championship. Just London to come after this at the start of July, and the championship is really starting to hot up as the drivers are on their parade around in the electric DHL truck. We'll bring you the full grid in a couple of moments' time after we've had a look at the contenders this weekend.
With 3 races to go, we're into the business end of the season. The drivers have been competing hard for victories in 7 cities, and now in downtown Berlin, they're fighting to keep themselves in contention. The current drivers' points show that De Grassi and Buemi will go to London still in strong positions, whatever happens in Berlin. But with 90 points still on the table, it's mathematically possible for 9 drivers to win. But realistically, it's down to 7. In Berlin, these 7 drivers need to get themselves in the target zone of 75 to 100 points to go to London with a title shot.
I can't believe we're near the end of the championship. It doesn't feel like we've really even started it. It's crazy how quickly it's gone. We've got 3 races left and we've both got a bit of catching up to do.
Lots of catching up, yeah.
Yeah, you have to beat Lucas, I have to beat you and Lucas. So you've got an easier job than me.
Buemi only really cares about beating De Grassi, and if he wins in Berlin and De Grassi is also on the podium, then they go into London almost neck and neck. Sam Bird would also need to be on the podium to keep his title hopes alive. If these 3 all make the podium, then it gets very difficult for the other 4.
The only way that I can realistically be in with a shout is if I have a really good one here and you and Lucas have a very, a poor one.
Yeah.
I think for the show,
yeah,
you and Lucas need to have a bad one here.
I don't care about the show, The show was good last year.
Right, last lap, you and Lucas are fighting, and then somehow you both lock up, run wide and let me through, and you both come sort of 8th and 9th.
That means we go very wide then.
Yeah, you go very wide. You go really wide. Really wide. And then it makes it interesting.
Very interesting indeed. But if De Grassi and Buemi fail to score in Berlin and Sam wins, then it will be a tight 3-way fight for London for sure. If D'Ambrosio is then second, then he too keeps his hopes alive.
London, there is lots of points available.
Well, there's like, nearly 60 points available.
I mean, if it rains or stuff like that, everything's possible there.
Jerome will need most of these points, but for him, a win in Berlin with a poor result for Lucas and Sebastian puts him right back in the frame.
The Dragon seems to struggle a bit now since a couple of races.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I reckon they'll come back on form.
Yeah.
They're 2 really good drivers, so Jerome and Loic. I'm surprised that they haven't scored more points in the last 2 or 3 races.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have their reasons.
They won Berlin last year and they finished both on the podium in London, so they're going to be good.
Well, they'll need to be, because in reality, Loic Duval, as well as Nico Prost and Stefan Sarrazin, all need to win in Berlin to bring themselves back into the hunt. So we can expect aggressive racing from these 3 as their title dreams depend upon reaching that elusive top step.
Just make it interesting and qualify anywhere from here back.
No.
And then it's interesting. If let me have my normal one at the moment, and then if you can.
How many poles you have?
3.
Oh yeah, you have more. It's not going to be easy, but in the end, we know how quickly it goes in this championship.
Well, whilst they're all working out what they need to do, De Grassi at his team's home race, and having won the last 2 races, is out in front and ready for anything. With 90 points to play for, the challengers need to go all out for victories.
But first of all, they have to beat me.
Now, Lucas De Grassi is going to be starting in 8th place on the grid. He's been promoted there after a few disqualifications. Both Mahindra drivers, Bruno Senna and Nick Heidfeld, as well as Stefan Sarrazin and Jerome D'Ambrosio, have been moved to the back of the grid for tyre pressure irregularities. Nicky has caught up with Jörg Reimann, the Vice President of the BMW Brand Experience, down on a very busy grid here at the BMW I Berlin ePirx.
Yeah, fantastic to be here and now have BMW, the BMW I Berlin ePirx. What does it mean to BMW to be sponsoring this event?
Well, actually, it means very much because we are part of that great series since the beginning. Is BMW linked to that great series, and having them here in Berlin with the BMW i Formula E Grand Prix. For us, it's a symbol because we want to show that we are fully committed for e-mobility, not only with our BMW i brand, i8 and i3 models, but especially with our sponsorship and with our great safety car that we have on the street here.
Two men who are very important in this whole machine, Alejandro Agag and the president of the FIA, Jean Todt.
You know, what a fitting place to have a Formula E race. You know, it's the capital of engineering and efficiency. Well done for organising this.
No, we're very happy, you know, and Alessandro and all the team did a great job to bring Formula E in the heart of Berlin. So a few weeks back it was in the heart of Paris, now in Berlin. It's where we want to see electric car competing in the cities.
And Alejandro, this is the second time we're in Berlin, but you know we've said goodbye to Tempelhof Airport and we're back on street circuits. We like that.
Yes, we love the streets. I think this is the environment for the Formula E cars. This is the street championship. We were in Tempelhof last year because of the refugee problem. Obviously, we had to move somewhere else, but we're so lucky to find this location. Karl-Marx-Halle, the big monuments of Berlin, heart of the city. This is how we convince people to buy electric cars.
Well, the third last race of the season, I think it's going to be a good one. Enjoy the race. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the fans here, it's a sellout here in Berlin, which is fantastic to see the enthusiasm with which the fans have come out to support Formula E. Pole position, Jean-Eric Vergne on the left-hand side, his fourth pole position in Formula E, but only the first of this season. Second on the grid is second place man in the championship, Sebastian Buemi, his best qualifying since Putrajaya in the second race of the year. Third on the grid, Daniel Abt, the man from Kempten in Germany, the highest placed German driver. He starts third, which is also his best performance of the season so far. Sam Bird was on a run of 3 poles in 4 races. It's now 3 poles in 5 races because he could only manage 4th on the grid. 5th, a best of season performance for Nelson Piquet Jr. Huge improvement for the next EV TCR guys because they were on the back row of the grid at the opening round in Beijing. Nico Prost didn't get it together. He starts down in 6th place on the grid while his teammate is 2nd. And the strong performance from Next EV continues with Oliver Turvey in 7th spot. 8th on the grid is our championship leader, Lucas de Grassi. He's come from 6th on the grid to win before. Can he do it from 8th? It's going to be a tough ask for the Brazilian. 9th on the grid is the Dragon car of Loic Duval. The Dragon drivers not really hooking it up in qualifying the way they would have wanted, struggling with the car. And then in the top 10, Simona de Silvestro has her best qualifying in her Formula E career. Nick Heidfeld slotting in to his 16th position grid slot. And at the back, Jerome D'Ambrosio for Dragon. Pole position on the left-hand side is Jean-Eric Vergne, the Frenchman, with his 4th Formula E pole. Second on the grid is the second place man in the championship, Sebastian Buemi, in the blue and yellow Renault car. The man to watch out for is 8th on the grid, championship leader, Lucas de Grassi for the Abt team. Here come the lights, 48 laps of racing about to begin. All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Berlin, and it's a very good start from Buemi. Is he going to wrestle the lead away on the run down towards the first corner? Yes, Buemi leads. He's managed to get past Vergne, and he moves over, and they almost touch as they come into the first corner. Now they're all going to be so gentle into that first turn to try and make it through. A bit of contact in the middle of the pack, but once again Vergne doesn't get the start from pole, and Buemi is away in the lead of the race. 3rd place is Daniel Abt, 4th is Sam Bird, 5th is Nico Prost. Up into 6th place then is Lucas de Grassi, so he has got a good getaway. He's got past Nelson Piquet Jr., who's lost a few positions. We're all safely through the first couple of corners. Now we come onto the right-hander and down into the double left-hander of the Singstrasse corner. Piquet tucked right up now behind de Grassi, but that is a perfect start for him. We go on board with the Brazilian as we come down towards the Strasburger Platz. Through the right of turn 7, then the long left-hander of turn 8. A little flick right before you have to get on the brakes, through the hairpin left again. And it is Sebastian Buemi who has managed to take the lead of the race and is starting to pull away. We've got a yellow flag out down at the Singerstrasse corner. That has now gone in, so hopefully whoever ran into problems has recovered. But look how close Vergne is. Vergne's going for the lead, up the inside, down into turn 1, and Vergne retakes the lead of the ePirx. Jean-Eric Vergne right up behind Sebastian Buemi and is now leading. Daniel Abt in 3rd, and straight on goes Senna. He's got front wing damage. So Senna into the pits. He has had a collision out there on the first lap, but Jean-Eric Vergne was not impressed, losing that lead on the opening lap, and he has wrestled it back from Buemi now. So it's the Virgin car that leads of Jean-Eric Vergne. Sebastian Buemi in second place. Oh, and René Rast has got damaged. The rear wing has come away off the back of the Aguri car. Presumably, it was he and Senna that got together. Simona Di Silvestro has dropped down into 11th. Robin French has made a good start to go from 12th up to 10th. He went around the outside, down at the first corner, and made up a couple of positions. There's Martin Hua right up behind. But now, what can Jean-Eric Vergne do? This is on board with Daniel Abt, looking back at Sam Bird. Abt in third place at the moment. Bird trying to close him down as they get on the brakes into the first corner. Lap 2 of 48 about to be completed here in the BMW I Berlin E-Prix. And pretty much the top 6 all nose to tail. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Nelson Piquet, and there's René Rast and Martin Hua coming together.
Why is that?
As they bounce their way through the chicane now. De Grassi is really close to the back of Nico Prost, and look at the right-hand front end plate of Sam Bird. You can see it there, it's wobbling. It's wobbling around, so he must have had a little bit of contact out there somewhere to just loosen that front wing end plate. But it's Vergne who leads, Buemi who is second. The percentage you can see on the left-hand side is the amount of usable energy remaining in this car. When it gets down to 0%, they'll have to come into the pits and swap over into their other machine as they now swing out towards the left-hander of turn 10 and out onto the start straight once more. Pretty much equidistant between all of them at the moment. Vergne led Buemi by 0.7 of a second at the end of that last lap, but Buemi is getting right back with him, isn't he? Vergne set the fastest lap of the race last time around, but now it's Daniel Abt who sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:01.519. And that is the man in third place as they swing through the chicane. Bird trying to chase down Daniel Abt. A little bit of front wing damage as well to Nelson Piquet Jr. Robin French is coming under pressure from Simona Di Silvestro. Very strong in the early stages here from Simona. Thinks about going to the inside, but in the end, Robin covers that off reasonably well. And there is the fountain in the middle of the Strasburger Platz. Then up into turn 10, and as you can see from the helicopter shot, Jean-Eric Vergne just is gapping Sebastian Buemi a tiny bit. Buemi not close enough to make an attack. The two Andretti cars are the two closest cars on the circuit at the moment. Sarrazin is running in 17th place then, only 3 seconds behind Jerome D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio himself hasn't had a good getaway. He's still last of the drivers that haven't run into problems, and is 3 seconds off the back of Nick Heidfeld. René Rast still going out there, even though he's got some damage to his rear wing. And then you've got Jerome D'Ambrosio, then you've got Bruno Senna, and then you've got Stefan Sarrazin. Here's a look at the start. Watch Jean-Eric Vergne on pole position. Just not a good getaway. In fact, I think it was a very good getaway from Buemi. There was nothing really wrong with Vergne's start. He didn't lose that much time to the other cars around him. Now watch Robin French in the blue Andretti car going to the outside and going around the outside of his teammate Simona Di Silvestro. Not quite sure whether contact between Senna and, well, let's look at this from Lucas Di Grassi. Started in 8th place, gets a good start, up the inside of Oliver Turvey. And then up the inside of Nelson Piquet Jr. as well, down into turn 1. Well, no, Piquet's still hanging it out there. Oh, big slide from Piquet. He had to get out the throttle. Vergne having to defend from Sebastian Buemi now in the lead of the race. The black and orange flag has been shown to René Rast, which means your car has got bodywork damage. You've got to come into the pits. There you can see car 55, René Rast, another German driver in the field. As they come through the right-hander of turn number 4. Lap 6 of 48. And there comes Buemi up the inside and he's through, down into turn 10. Buemi finds the room and retakes the lead of the E-Prix. Now will we start to see him sprint clear? Alex Tye, the team principal at the DS Virgin team, little shake of the head, not impressed with that one. Very impressive to get that move done down into that left-hander of Singerstrasse. And now Alain Prost can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, and look how much pressure Jean-Eric Vergne is under now. Buemi has already sprinted clear. Daniel Abt in the Abt machine is going to try and pass Vergne. Vergne covers the inside line, but Abt's going to try and go around the outside. Vergne's just going to hold it on the inside line, and there'll be nothing he can do about that. That's going to allow Sam Bird into the fight. All of that means Sebastian Buemi has a 1 second lead now up at the front. And Abt is darting around trying to get the inside line for the chicane, but he can't quite do it. Abt is desperate to get through now that he's seen Buemi make the gap and sprint clear, but now Abt is under pressure himself from Sam Bird. Is there going to be room on the run down into turn 5 and 6 at the Singerstrasse? No. Not this time around. There's Lucas Di Grassi, championship leader, running in 6th place at the moment. Here's a look at it again from Buemi, and look at that. Oh, goodness me, that was close. And that was just about a car's width that Jean-Eric Verne left. He moved over and realised if he didn't give him enough room, they were both going to be going straight to the wall. So, Sebastian Buemi disappearing up at the front. The battle now is on for 2nd place. Verne again covers the inside line. Is Abt going to try and sell the dummy on the run down to turn 1? No, he's not close enough. A little bit of a lock-up on the front left from Verne, but that won't cause him too much drama. As they come now into the left-right flick, Nelson Piquet has come into the pits now.
0.16 bad. Same as Abt. Buemi has more energy.
So that is Jean-Eric Verne being told we've got the same amount of energy as Daniel Abt. There's also a black flag with an orange disc.
Is out of reach.
Okay, so Verne saying no point in chasing down Buemi. Sam Bird is getting a black flag with an orange disc as well, just for that slightly loose front nose, and very, very wide there from Jean-Eric Verne as he came through 7, 8 and 9. As here now comes Sebastian Buemi leading the way.
Okay.
Verne again.
I know, Sam, we need to respect what they're saying.
Oh, Bird's going to have to come into the pits. He's going to have to...
Sam, stay out one more lap. Stay out one more lap. We're going to argue it more.
Okay. To me...
16.92. It's not falling off, guys. It's fine. I know. They seem really sensitive. There are already black flags, 1 or 2 other cars on this. They seem really sensitive.
So, Sam Bird...
Okay, Sam, we're...
having the conversation with his race engineer. It's, you know, it is flopping around at the moment, isn't it? That front left end plate, but it's nowhere near coming off. Robin Freins has got up into 8th position. Here's a replay of Robin Freins getting up into 8th position. Up the inside of Loic Duval, locks the rears and manages to handbrake turn his way through. So Freins goes up the inside into 8th place. But this bottleneck now is really starting to kick off behind Jean-Eric Verne, just like it did in Paris. Down the run towards turn 1. And there's the look from Daniel Abt. He's got the move done. Is he going to get it stopped, though? They're both locking their wheels, and Abt does get it turned in. So Daniel Abt through into 2nd position. And now the next man to try and attack Jean-Eric Verne is going to be Sam Bird. Oliver Turvey has come into the pits as well for Next TV, so Robin Freins is up into 7th.
How many more laps can I stay out? No, Sam, you need to box now. You've already had 2. There's a 3 maximum. Box now, box now.
Well, that's it. Sam Bird into the pits. Well, that is frustrating for Bird. A slightly wobbly front wing end plate, and he's got to come into the pits. Is that the end of Sam Bird's championship challenge? I think realistically it is. And there is De Silvestro now past Duval then. So De Silvestro in that blue Andretti car has managed to make her way up into 7th spot past Loic Duval. Really strong performance this from Simona, who has struggled a little bit to get used to the car over these, well, this is how she did it, down into turn 1, oh, late in the day, late on the brakes. Brave stuff. So these are our fan boost winners. Sebastian Buemi wins the fan boost, the race leader. Also picking it up is Stefan Sarazan, who is in the race. He's up into 13th position now. And Nick Heidfeld, the other driver, who is up in 10th spot. So those are the 3 drivers that will get the extra power boost in their 2nd car. Here comes Nick Heidfeld. Can he get past Mike Conway up the inside into turn 1? Has to really mount the curbs, and now they go side by side down towards the chicane. It's a left-hander coming up. Is Conway feeling brave around the outside? Onto the brakes. No, he's not. Through goes Heidfeld. So Nick Heidfeld goes past. That's 9th place now for the German on a fantastic comeback drive for the Mahindra team. This is the battle for third place. Jean-Eric Verne, the Frenchman, ahead of the other Frenchman, Nico Prost. Verne got his season back on track with an excellent drive to second place in Paris. His teammate Sam Bird down in 14th place after he had to pit for a new nose cone. This is Nick Heidfeld going past Loic Duval. Heidfeld slicing up through the order line, they're not even there. That Mahindra is really hooked up this weekend. A little bit of bodywork there has come off at the chicane. I'm not sure if that came off one of these cars. It did, it came off Jean-Eric Verne, look, the front right. So Jean-Eric Verne clouting those cones on the inside, and that has sent the front right part of the front wing off. Let's look at it again.
Yes, of course, understood.
Bang. It went under the front wheel of Verne briefly. And that debris now on the circuit, so whether that throws a full course yellow or a safety car, I'd be surprised. But now it's nose to tail between Verne and Prost, battling over third place. Verne in the DS Virgin car covers the inside line, and he knows that Nico Prost is not going to be quite close enough to make the move this time through. Joining them is Robin Freites in the Andretti car.
2.13 now, 1.8.
Verne up in front of Nico Prost in the battle over third place. Here's a look at the replay of how Heidfeld got past Simone de Silvestro, and Heidfeld's steam up the order is continuing. On board with Lucas Di Grassi, who's got 10% usable energy remaining, so I think Di Grassi can get 2 more laps out of this as they come down into the left-hander, and Prost sells the dummy, but he's not quite close enough. A lock-up from Verne. But as I say, I think we're going to see everyone in on this lap except for Di Grassi. Now listen to Di Grassi here. And here comes the look from Prost up the inside, going into the chicane, and he's still not close enough. And Verne loses his front wing. And surely he's not going to be able to hold that position. He's not. Through goes Nico Prost. Verne pushing too hard, flies into the air.
I saw box, tight on energy.
So that's Jean-Eric Verne being told we're really tight on energy. So not only have you not got a front wing, you've also got to try and save as much energy as possible for the last kilometre. And look at this. Prost looked up the inside, Verne took in too much speed, hopped over the curbs, got the front wing underneath him and slammed against the wall. And that little lockup was enough to send Verne in deep. But they're going to be coming into the pits any moment now. Minimum pit stop time, 62 seconds. Into the pits then comes Buemi. This should be reasonably straightforward for him to emerge, still in the lead of the ePrix. Into the pits comes Daniel Abt as well, from second place. Really good performance from him today. He would love a podium at his home event. There's Verne getting strapped in. Out of the pits goes one of the Dragon cars. It's Jerome D'Ambrosio, but he's well down the order. Away goes Buemi. And out of the pit lane for Sebastian Buemi, 102.6. How do you like that? Fantastic efficiency from them. Then here comes Verne. Is he going to come out behind Prost? Yes, he is. But now the push is going to be on for Jean-Eric Verne. In fact, Verne's lost quite a bit of time in the pits there, hasn't he? Well, still 102.5. I guess he lost the time coming back previously. Into the pits comes Sam Bird now. But Lucas Di Grassi, the man who took over the lead of the race, is in the pits. He was in 5th place when the pit stop window started. And now he's comes into the pits. Here comes Buemi. So he's going to comfortably rejoin the lead of this ePrix. But the challenge is going to be Lucas Di Grassi will have much more usable energy. I don't think Di Grassi's in the fight for the race win here, but he can certainly get himself onto the podium. So Buemi retakes the lead, and there goes Di Grassi. Out of the pit lane, and his pit stop time, there's Abt, there goes Prost, and then Di Grassi comes out ahead of Jean-Eric Verne, so he's gained a place as well in all of that. And here's Sam Bird going past Ma Qinghua. Down into the hairpin, and Bird goes up into 13th position, but what a miserable race this is turning into. Oh, and smoky tyres there.
This is race control, We have a full course yellow.
Full course yellow on its way.
9, 8, 7,
Presumably
6,
to clear the debris at the chicane now that all the pit
5,
stops are clear.
4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow.
So there's the full course yellow. And that means the cars have to go around all at the same speed while they clear up the debris from on the track. Here's a look at what Senna did. Went in a bit deep. Oh, went in very deep. Lost the back end. Big spin for Senna. He gave the fans some entertainment then, didn't he? As he drove back up the track a little bit. It's the burnouts after it that you want to see, and that is Senna unfortunately spinning out of... Well, he's now come into the pits as well, I think.
This is race control, this is race control. Full course yellow will end in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, racing again here in the BMW I Berlin ePrix. Sebastian Buemi it is who is leading this race. Second place is Daniel Abt. Third is Nico Prost. The gap between second and third still just 1.5 seconds. Fourth is Lucas Di Grassi now, and he is only 1.8 seconds behind Nico Prost and has got usable energy to spare. And you have to think, if Di Grassi can get past Prost, Daniel Abt in second place might be the sacrificial lamb, so to speak. He'd only drop from second to third. He'd still be on the podium at his home ePrix, but it would give Di Grassi more championship points. Then comes Jean-Eric Vergne in a fairly lonely 5th position now. 6th is Robin Freins, and Heidfeld has closed into the back of him. So that's Robin Freins in the Andretti car, the 24-year-old Dutchman from Maastricht. Under pressure from Nick Heidfeld, who was once 24, now he's 39. Lap 30 of 48. This is the battle over 6th position. Robin Freins has it at the moment. Good drive from him. Do get in touch using the hashtag Berlin ePrix. Thank you to all of you who are getting in touch. And a couple of you have mentioned the fact that if Di Grassi gets past Abt, then it could be the opportunity to get through. Also, Isla Kennedy saying, surprised how long it took for the full course yellow to be thrown. I think, Isla, the plan was to make sure everyone had done their pit stops before the full course yellow was thrown. It was not an urgent issue because there was just a bit of debris here and there on the track. So if you'd have brought the full course yellow out whilst everyone was still going at full, whilst they're making their pit stops, some people would have gained and some people would have lost dramatically. So this is now Bird, who's caught up to the back of D'Ambrosio in the battle over 12th place, but Buemi is right up behind him, coming to lap them. So Bird is fighting for position with the Dragon car in front, but race leader Buemi is right up behind, lap 31 of 48. Bird not close enough for a look into the Singerstrasse. And now he gets out of the way. Good stuff from Sam Bird. But now he will want to follow right in the wheel tracks of Sebastian Buemi. He knows he's quick enough to do it. And if he can just sneak underneath the rear wing of Buemi, he will fly past the Dragon car when that gives way to the race leader. So this is going to be a fun one. Cunning stuff from Sam Bird, although he's lost a little bit of ground out through turn 11. So Di Grassi still has more usable energy than Nico Prost in front of him, and is now just 0.6 of a second behind. So 1.2 seconds separates second, third and fourth. So we'll keep an eye on that one, but absolutely no seconds separate Sam Bird and Jerome D'Ambrosio. This has got to be the move. Has Nick coming down into turn 1? Bird will surely try and grab the inside line. There we go, up the inside. Bird goes through. 12th position now on his recovery drive. How far away is he from the Venturi folk? 15 seconds. Here's Di Grassi trying to attack Nico Prost. Down into the hairpin. Not close enough. Prost is not going to make it easy for Di Grassi to get past. Di Grassi's got 2% more usable energy. That's how he's been able to close in, because it was 4% more usable energy. So Di Grassi will be able to push a little bit more. 16 to go, here to go. at the BMW I Berlin ePirx. Ma Qinghua doing a good job to get out of the way. He's running in 14th place at the moment. So, Buemi leads, 10 seconds up the road, but then second, third and fourth, Abt for the Abt team, Prost for Renault, and De Grassi for the Abt team are nose to tail. Will we see Abt start to back up Nico Prost into his teammate? Loic Duval's just set the fastest first sector of anyone over the race so far, so Dragon have got some pace in there somewhere. Through the right-hander. How close can Lucas Di Grassi get before he attacks? So as it stands, Di Grassi in 4th position. And Sebastian Buemi, the second place man in the championship, leading the way. So that means even if they come out on board with Di Grassi then, as he comes down towards turn number 1. This would, if it stayed like this, give Sebastian Buemi the lead of the championship by 2 points. If Di Grassi goes past Prost, and here comes Nick Heidfeld, he's using his fan boost to try and get past Robin Freins, but he's not quite close enough. Heidfeld doing his best on the run down towards turn 1 to use the fan boost, get the extra power and make the move on Robin Freins, but couldn't quite find that 6th place. Up into the chicane, Turvey gets out of the way of both of them, and that battle has been brewing for quite a long time now, and Loic Duval now has been given a drive-through penalty for power overuse, so that means he's gone above the 170 kilowatts of power he's allowed, which might explain why he just set the fastest lap of the race.
Copy 1594.
That's Nick Heidfeld on the team radio. So yes, as it stands, Buemi will lead the championship by 2 points, but if Di Grassi gets past Prost, instead of scoring 12 points, he scores 15, and that would mean Di Grassi would lead the championship by 1 point.
15.5.
So it's vital that Di Grassi gets past Prost, and if he could then get past Abt as well, that would help him to keep his championship lead going into the final 2 rounds in London on the 2nd and 3rd of July. You've got to join us for that. I mean, what a climax to the season it's going to be. What a penultimate race or round we're having here in Berlin under the view of the TV tower. Stefan Sarazan's using his fan boost now. He's in 11th place. And he's right behind Simona de Silvestro. So Sarazan trying to use his fan boost to get past Simona, but he's not quite able to do so. Simona holding on to the final spot in the top 10 at the moment. Sarazan right up behind, and there's the look coming up the inside into the chicane. Great move from Sarazan, he skips straight over, and he'll have to give that place back. And now René Rast is right behind, but not on the road. In fact, he's 4 laps down, René Rast. So something has gone amiss for the German making his Formula E debut, because he's 4 laps down, but he's got the pace to be right with the folks in front. Now here's a look at this. Surely Sarazan has to give this back. He goes up the inside and just goes straight over. Doesn't make the corner. I could overtake if I did that. 12 laps to go, nose to tail. For 3rd position, Nico Prost in the blue and yellow Renault car. Lucas Di Grassi behind in that red, green and yellow Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport machine. And Prost has started to drop back a little bit from Daniel Abt in front of him. Lap 37 of 48. Abt has just set the fastest middle sector.
Still 2% delta.
So that's Lucas Di Grassi being told you've still got a 2% usable energy advantage over Nico Prost. You can see it on the left-hand tower. Prost has got 47% battery remaining. Di Grassi's got 40, well, it's just ticked down to 48, but he's still got, 49, but he's still got more energy available than Nico Prost. So they're saying, you've got the energy, try and push it. Buemi is now going slowly. He's lost 4 seconds over the last couple of laps. The gap is down to 4.6 seconds, but that may have just been Buemi getting past traffic. Look how much speed de Grassi's taking. Is he close enough into 10? Oh, so close to the back of Prost. Can he get on the power quickly enough? There's Buemi leading the race. They're still closing in, but again, I think it might be Buemi running into traffic. Does de Grassi fancy it into turn 1? 9. Oh, around the outside at turn 1. That's a brave one, Lucas. Got out of that one because the only way that was going to end was in a de Grassi meets wall scenario. Into the chicane. What was that last first sector for Buemi? A 19.1, so that worked. Here comes de Grassi again, or a look at the replay I should say. Down into the first corner. Getting alongside Prost, but there's no way he could have got through there. But it gives Prost the presence, and he knows how quick de Grassi is. And he's still absolutely with him. Here we go, down towards turn 1 again. We've got 10 laps to go.
A full 1%. 1%.
De Grassi sells the dummy up the inside, and that's third place. He lined Prost up by going around the outside of the previous lap. He thought he was going to do the same thing.
Good move.
And de Grassi sells the dummy and he's into third spot. Perfect racing from the Brazilian. And the Renault team will be very frustrated because that now puts the app team in a really strong place. Look at this. Just like the last lap, he said, I'm going to go to the outside, Nico. Not. Sends it up the inside, down into turn 1, and de Grassi is passed. Are we going to see the switch now from Daniel Abt and Lucas de Grassi? A shake of the head from Drio and Prost. There's our race leader, Sebastian Buemi. He set the fastest lap of the race on that last tour, Buemi, so that gives him more points, 2 points in his championship fight. So if it finished like this...
18-40, 18-40. C'est quoi le gap?
So Buemi talking to...
Tu t'énerves pas, avec le jeu des meilleurs tours, on s'est fait rattraper. La pace de Max c'est 1.00.4, donc il va te rattraper d'une seconde. Il est à 4 secondes de toi. Target conso 1.18, énergie 4.
So now that Buemi has got the fastest lap of the race, it's an extra couple of points for his championship challenge, which would take him up to 142. As it stands, Lucas de Grassi in third place would get 15 points, which would put him on 141. So that fastest lap could give Buemi the championship lead coming to London, but surely the app team are going to do a little switcheroo here between Daniel and Lucas to give Lucas those extra 3 championship points. We'll have to wait and see.
1.2 seconds behind.
We're listening across the team radio just in case they get informed. A second place finish would be superb for Daniel Abt. A third place finish would be great as well. We've got both team radios open, both Abt and de Grassi's. And they've disappeared from Nico Prost now. Prost has got nothing. Prost has got no answer to these two. Bruno Senna now sets the fastest lap, so that negates Buemi's fastest lap. Oh, and out. That's Loic Duval. Race over. Has he lost it himself? Oh, there goes the back end. Straight to the scene of the accident. Now that surely is going to be a safety car. Maybe a full course yellow, but it's in a pretty dangerous position.
He's not moving out of the way.
Battery 54, and double yellow turn 7.
So now they're getting frustrated because they're up behind Sam Bird in the DS Virgin car.
Double yellow at turn 7. Double yellow at turn 7.
Now, as if we need another twist, Lucas de Grassi is under investigation for speeding.
I need a blue flag!
For speeding under the full course yellow. Abt Abt is getting wound up behind Sam Bird because no one's showing him a blue flag. Let's have a look at the marshals on the right-hand side here. No blue flags. And now Bird gets out of the way. Good work from the Englishman. But, well, I don't want to be a bit of a naysayer, but the gap was 3.2 seconds. There's Hans-Jürgen Abt looking surprised. But now look how close de Grassi is. And have we got full course yellow? I think we've got full course yellow. Safety car. Safety car deployed. Safety car deployed. And I kind of worry that with 6 laps left, that might be it. Prost is frustrated because that means Sebastian Buemi's lead is gone.
Safety car out. Safety car out. Lucas, we are under investigation.
Yes.
For speeding under yellow flag. Under full course yellow.
So the safety car in this lap in the BMW I Berlin ePirx. Sebastian Buemi is the man leading this race as he swings through the left-hander. And he will want to set the fastest lap, and these guys are going to be pushing like crazy now because they've all got enough usable energy to go flat out to the end because we've only got 2 laps to go. The yellow flag's waving. Now in comes the safety car and the race goes green again in Berlin. Abt is too far back from Buemi to make a move at the moment. Getting straight out of the way. Oh, and a lock up there. I think that was Martin Qua going straight on. But Buemi leads. 2nd Abt, 3rd de Grassi, 4th Prost, 5th Verne, 6th is Robin Freins. Sam Bird in that 2nd DS car, not in contention. And look how close de Grassi is to Daniel Abt. He's got to try and find a way.
Can you let Lucas by? He's quicker.
There we go. Let Lucas by. He's quicker. Is the command to Daniel Abt. Through 7, through 8, through 9, into 10. My counting's really coming on as they come through the hairpin left-hander and then down to start the final tour. Abt hasn't let de Grassi through yet, but I'm sure he will now that the team have given him that instruction yet. He waves to the inside line and, well, it hasn't quite worked out there, has it? So final lap started by Sebastian Buemi. Hans-Jürgen Abt watching on the pit wall. Are they going to do the swap, the 2 Abt drivers? If they swap, de Grassi holds the championship lead. I don't think Buemi has the fastest lap at the moment, so he will get
last race lap.
140 points at the top of the championship. If de Grassi can get through into 2nd position, it'll only be a 7-point swing, meaning that he'll still lead the championship by 4 points. But Daniel's not doing it. Is he making a point to his German fans that I could have held this 2nd place? I'm going to let it go at the final corner of the race. Down towards the final corner of the BMW I Berlin ePirx comes Sebastian Buemi. He turns through the final corner now and he wins in Berlin. Victory for Buemi, and Daniel Abt is going to finish 2nd. Abt finishes 2nd.
Yeah!
And that is going to be awkward.
I'm so happy, guys. I cannot tell you how happy I am! Yeah!
The shouting is Daniel Abt. I cannot tell you how happy I am. That's Daniel Abt's voice. But we heard the call, didn't we, folks? Let Lucas through, he's quicker. He hasn't. And as a result now, it's 15 points in the championship for Lucas de Grassi.
C'est beau ça. Merci les mecs.
Which means going into the final round in London, he will lead the championship by just 1 point. Look at this Parc Fermé. How cool is that? Parks up next to the podium. Another victory in Formula E for Sebastian Buemi. His 6th Formula E victory. And he wins in Berlin. What a breathless ePirx. Here are the results. Sebastian Buemi victorious, 1.7 seconds clear of Daniel Abt. Lucas de Grassi, 3rd for the Abt Schaffer Audi Sport Team. Prost in 4th, Verne in 5th. Robin Freins completing the top 6, having started down in 12th place on the grid. Heidfeld started 16th and managed to finish in 7th. Those two drivers of the day. Conway 8th. Simone de Silvestro picks up a 9th place finish, which is another 9th place, so 2nd of the season so far. Sam Bird finishing just outside the points after an interesting decision from the stewards to call him in due to car troubles. Turvey Piquet, 12th and 13th for a day that started so strongly for NextDB TCR. Let's hear then from our race winner, his 6th Formula E victory, Sebastian Buemi, the winner of the BMW i Berlin ePrix.
Well, Sebastian Buemi, I know you're itching to get on that podium to celebrate a well-deserved win. But I mean, you retook the lead of that race from lap 6 and didn't really look back.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to see so many people here today. It's an amazing feeling to be winning in Germany, you know. The Germans won in France, and now we win. So it's amazing, although for the championship, to be back, to have a clean day, you know, with a good qualifying. You know, I'm very happy, so now we will celebrate it with the team.
But those Germans, that AB team, were breathing down your neck for that race, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I didn't drive the perfect race because I wanted to do the fastest lap, so I was slowing down, accelerating. That was not the best, you know, overall strategy, but we missed out for the fastest lap by just a little bit, so it's a shame, but we are happy like that.
All right, well, congratulations. Thank you so much for providing a fantastic show. Daniel, let's have a quick chat. Oh, is that a big sigh of relief there?
Yes, mega, absolutely mega. I'm so happy. If someone would have said to me I'm going to finish on the podium in my home race, I would have said you're crazy, but today was just amazing. From the beginning to the end, no mistakes. The guys gave me a fantastic car. Pit stop was fast. So much support from all the people here. I'm so happy. Big thanks to all of you. Thanks to my team. Thanks to everyone, and tonight we're going to celebrate big time.
Oh, I bet you are. Now, I do have to ask you one question. Was there any orders from the team for Lucas for you to give your position away to Lucas? Because obviously, for him to get the points for the championship, it would be beneficial.
Absolutely. There was no real order, but I thought about doing it and actually wanted to do it. I slowed down in the second last lap on the main straight and pointed towards my mirror saying pass me, but I think he didn't realize it and he stuck behind me. And then in the last lap I was scared to do it because I didn't want to lose a podium on my home race with being stupid. So.
And can you give us a quick word in German for all your fantastic, supportive German fans?
Danke an euch alle, danke, dass ihr da seid. Das war so ein geiler Tag. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet alle Spaß. Gebt alles. Heute Nacht feiern wir richtig geil. Danke an alles. An alle.
Well done, Daniel. Lucas de Grassi, again, a huge congratulations, back on the podium. No surprise there. But it wasn't too easy for you, although, you know, you put up a fantastic performance taking Prost and into third.
Yes, it was a very, very tough race, starting from 8th. We had clearly a different strategy from the others, and got compromised when Jean-Eric Verne lost his front wing on the in-lap, and I lost a lot of time behind him. Then the safety car again made the job even more difficult because we had more energy than the others to attack in the very end. But podium is a great result, starting from 8th, still leading the championship by 1 point, I think, yeah?
Yes, that is correct, I can confirm.
And so everything goes to London now.
Championship points, de Grassi 1 point clear of Buemi. Yet another title showdown in Battersea Park in London in the first weekend of July. As far as the teams are concerned, that has extended Renault's advantage. They're now 202 points, whereas App Audi Sport are 191. So yes, Renault have extended their lead at the top of the championship with a first and a fourth place. It's now up to 11 points. DS Virgin in third, Dragon in fourth. The race winner, Sebastian Buemi. The podium area absolutely packed by the fans. An elation with Buemi and the team. Frank Henkel, the Senator for Interior and Sport, is going to hand over the trophy to the race winner in Berlin, Sebastian Buemi. So now it's time for the champagne on the podium. victory for Sebastian Buemi. He's closed in on his championship leading rival Lucas Di Grassi. Di Grassi still holds a 1-point advantage, but it's all up to play for in the final event of the championship. The 2nd and 3rd of July in London. 2 races, a double header, 1 point separating the championship protagonists. It's going to be absolutely superb.
When the lightning strikes, let's stand together. When the moment comes, let's stand as one.